What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, regardless of what fans or critics have thought about or even disagreed about recent Marvel TV shows and films, it's the behind-the-scenes stuff that's been spilling over and very publicly for the better part of the last 8 months that's really managed to paint a negative picture of the once-thought untouchable juggernaut, pun totally intended. Amongst all these public reveals, and obviously some more damaging than others, was Mahershala Ali, the lead on Blade, upset with the state of the script in October when they blew up the project in late post-production only about a month before it was set to start filming, pushing it back more than a year on the slate. Well, now we have some brand new details coming from a trusted industry insider about what's been changed in the script, where the script's at now, and who's been omitted from the storyline in order to make a more streamlined story, something more in line with what Mahershala Ali apparently wanted for the upcoming film. We're going to break down the latest details as revealed, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with Guardians of the Galaxy. So again, all you got to do, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video, we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the last time we got any updates about Blade, for a little context, was actually just 2 weeks ago, as reported by The Direct, quote, Mahershala Ali is involved heavily with Blade's story process, so much so that he's demanded script changes all the time in recent months. Ali, who propelled the project into development after meeting with Marvel Studios in 2019, allegedly feels that, quote, Blade is his movie and has thus worked to infuse his vision into its story and direction. Now we're getting a report from Jeff Schneider on the Hot Mic podcast that things have gotten a little bit better, quote unquote, and that the script is leaner and meaner and they cut out all the fat. This is what he says, quote, but the script I heard was about 87 pages, like there wasn't enough and they shaved it to the bone. What they'd cut out, I heard, was Blade was going to tie in with Eternals in Kit Harington's Black Knight. Black Knight's not really involved with the Blade thing anymore. He then goes on to add, they may be recasting a few parts, including maybe the daughter was going to be like a 14-year-old girl. They may end up recasting that. Now, we've already done a video here at the channel talking about the supposed leaked details from the original script that heavily still focused on a Blade origin. It was a Blade-focused script, and there wasn't much, if any, Black Knight material in there at all. This is indicating that originally there was to make good on his voiceover cameo at the end of Eternals, but now that's been removed from the film. And quite honestly, guys, I'm actually happy to hear that. Just focus on Blade, just make it an origin story, and still, by a lot of reports, that's what the story will be. A lot of flashbacks to earlier in the 1900s, what happened with his mom, his original origin, perhaps Deacon Frost. Maybe it'll play out a little bit different, but it will focus on who Blade is and bringing him into the MCU, which, quite honestly, you don't need to go ahead and complicate any connection to Black Knight in just yet. But I would be cautious to say it's going to come in anytime soon in Eternals 2. Let me explain. Chloe Zhao had been asked many times if and when she would return for a sequel, even though certain actors like Patton Oswalt had wrongly confirmed there would be one. He basically read it off the internet from rumors and thought it was true. Not the first MCU actor to do that. He's probably learned his lesson. But when Chloe Zhao was asked about the possibility, she would always respond pretty openly that she loved doing the first one, was open to it, etc. We just had to wait and see. Her demeanor was rather joyful also when referring to her experience with that film. Well, recently Chloe Zhao was asked about Eternals 2, and absolutely dead-faced with no emotion, she simply says no comment. I'm honestly going to be the king of speculation here and say, if you take that clip at face value, quite honestly, she does not look too happy about that question, which at least I take to mean that perhaps either Eternals 2 does not have a plan of happening or it is happening and she's not the director. I actually take it to mean the latter, but by the time that film shows up, if it's going to explain Black Knight any further, it just may be very late in the game or not at all, meaning whatever storyline Kit Harington's Black Knight was going to take on in the MCU, now that it's not going to feature here and with no Eternals 2 on the horizon, remember guys, he's going to film on the Snow spin-off Game of Thrones sequel. So where Marvel Studios has that well-known clause for a lot of actors where they just call them and say, hey, we need you to come film X, Y, and Z at X, Y, and Z time, HBO, a show like Snow, they're not going to be able to bully them, and they're going to have to respect whatever the shooting is. Normally that is also on location. Places like Iceland where they've already shot Game of Thrones, presumably they'll be doing where they shot The Wall, and that's going to have its own production time. Yeah, I'm not sure what his future in the MCU might be and how soon it may show up, if at all, before Secret Wars. That being said, if it makes Blade a better film, if Blade focuses on Blade, we don't need to spend any time connecting to Black Knight if it's not going to catch up in real time. That's my final thought on this video, though. To hear that he may have connected to Blade and where this may be a heavily focused flashback story and then brought up to speed in the real time, but still in the past of the MCU, I sort of like the idea of hearing about Black Knight only because it meant that Blade's in the current timeline in the MCU, which is where I want to see him, and that's what I'm still hoping for the script, and something that I hope Mahershala Ali and the writers get lockstep on. If you're going to do flashbacks all the way to the 1920s and then bring it up to real time, don't pull a Black Widow or Captain Marvel and leave it set somewhere in, say, the 80s or 90s, or even somewhere during the Infinity Saga, unless there's a major point to it. Bring him into the current timeline, which is what we want to see with these characters, so that crossovers are imminent. I know that it was a little ambiguous at the end of Werewolf by Night exactly when that was set, but I think from the last scenes there between Man-Thing and Jack that it's sort of set in a more modern time. Bring it all up to speed. That's the point of these movies. That's what we want, and I definitely want Blade involved with everything that's going down at the end of the Multiverse Saga. But you guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Perhaps they are holding out for Midnight Suns. Perhaps Midnight Suns is not in the cards between now and Secret Wars. Maybe that's something going forward into future phases, and that's totally cool too. I am all ears. How excited are you guys for a new Blade film? I'm so hyped for it. And it better be good. And it better be violent. That's all I have to say. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away a PlayStation 5 instead of subscriber milestones now, because YouTube's algorithm has been whack, for lack of a better term, and who knows when we're hitting any of these milestones. We're just moving it to coincide with Marvel movie releases, which are a lot more certain and a lot more static. So the next one is Guardians. It's about a month away, just over. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Same as for any future giveaways, all you got to do, be a subscriber, comment on videos, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Also, please try to remember, guys, that anybody can use anybody else's photograph, claim to be someone, and tell you you've won something. No YouTuber will ever contact you on a third-party app like WhatsApp or Telegram. No YouTuber will ever talk to you on there or even ask you to pay for shipping. I certainly don't. Those scammers are persistent and have been on YouTube for the better part of a year now. They seem to have cleaned up a lot on this channel, but in the meantime, if you should get spam or comments on any channel on YouTube, please be vigilant, please be safe, don't talk to anybody or give them your information, and no one will ever ask you to pay for shipping. Also, try to be a little more inquisitive about it. Usually the channels doing giveaways have a specific day they're doing the giveaways, not every day, but it's all good. If you see those comments, just report them. You're doing the community at YouTube a huge service, because they'll delete it across the app, sometimes faster than I can get to those comments. And trust me, guys, I try. Thanks for checking out today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.